Oh, hi. Well, it's Chris Bumpray from JoBlo. I'm still in Las Vegas at CinemaCon. Not having the best stroke of luck at the slots here, but hey, you know what? The Warner Brothers panel is about to start. Let's go check it out and see if my luck will change. Hey everybody, it's Chris Bumbray here again at CinemaCon. I just came out of the Warner Brothers panel and I saw some amazing footage. I'm going to kick it off by talking about the one that I'm sure you're all going to want to hear about, Digger by Alessandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, starring a certain man that you may have heard of before called Tom Cruise, who is actually in attendance, and it's always a thrill to be in the same room as Tom Cruise, I'm not going to lie. So the footage hasn't been released yet, but here's an interesting thing. In the movie, Tom Cruise plays this kind of older, like magnet type character. He kind of sounded a bit like Ted Turner to me. Imagine like a southern version of Len Grossman, not quite as overweight, although still somewhat overweight, and with a little bit more hair. He's not quite like me, but he has a little bit of silver hair, and Tom Cruise looking very old and very feeble, but man, what an energetic performance he's giving. So he's basically this super wealthy guy who's doing some kind of drilling, or he's financing a drilling project in the Arctic, and they totally commit kind of an ecological disaster, which is going to wipe out billions of lives on Earth and is actually now pushing the Earth to the brink of nuclear war. I'm not exactly sure what it is yet, but he gets into big trouble with the president of the United States, who's played by John Goodman, and it's a kind of a feeble president. And he gets sent on this like mission around the world to try to, broker peace between the nations. Now, it's definitely not your typical Tom Cruise movie. It's not an action movie. It's a very, very dark comedy, and I would say that I got very, very heavy vibes that this was kind of like a Stanley Kubrick film, which would make sense because Cruise has always been a huge Stanley Kubrick fan, and of course starred in Stanley Kubrick's last movie, Eyes Wide Shut. It looks like a modern Doctor Strangelove, and when I say that, I mean, I feel very optimistic because I love Iñárritu. Not all of his movies have landed for me, but Tom Cruise, to me, it's very rare that Tom Cruise makes a movie that's not at least good. So Digger, for me, is probably my #1 most anticipated movie of the year, and it looks amazing, all shot in 70mm VistaVision. When the trailer for this drops, man, people are going to talk. Cruise is going for his Oscar, and who knows, man, this could be it for Cruise. Anyway, I also saw some footage from J.J. Abrams' The Great Beyond. I don't really know what to say about this movie because the teaser was kind of done in a way that it doesn't really give away a lot. It seems to be set in some kind of fantasy world where Glenn Powell and Jenna Ortega are kind of humans that are brought into it. I don't know if they're immortal or whatever it is, but it's some kind of alternate world, and Emma Mackey seems to be this kind of warrior queen, and it seems like she has a romance going on with Glenn Powell as the film goes on, with Samuel L. Jackson wearing a really weird white wig as this mentor figure. Also, Jenna Ortega has like hair and looks very strange in the film. I'm just not used to seeing her that way. I can't tell you how I feel about this because I feel like this film, especially knowing that it's from J.J. Abrams, could either be amazing and kick off a huge franchise or could be the biggest disaster of the year. So we'll see. I don't know. It's a big swing, and I have to say I respect that. Also saw the first 7 minutes of Dune Part 3, which was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting to see that today. I think this is going to be a lot different from the last two movies. Villeneuve said kind of on the outset that he really viewed that Dune 1 and 2 were one film, just one very long film. And this one is its own beast. It's kind of a thriller, he said. And he also said it's going to be much faster paced, which is kind of what I've heard online because IMAX posted a running time, said it was about 127 minutes. And that probably is pretty legit because it seems like the movie's done too because he showed us the first chunk of the film. It's also worth saying that this movie takes place 17 full years later after Dune 2. And Paul, well, he's on the way to being the evil emperor of the world, I suppose, and is living with the consequences of his actions. But the first 7 minutes are crazy. It's just the Fremen attacking a planet and getting mowed down like ants. It is crazy. It is intense. I cannot wait to see it. It's going to be great on IMAX around Christmas time. I'm telling you, Avengers Doomsday has got some big competition because they're supposed to open on the same day, but I'm pretty sure that Doomsday is going to blink. Another interesting thing, they didn't show any footage from The Hunt for Gollum, the new Lord of the Rings movie, because it hasn't started filming yet, but they did do a special teaser that revealed a lot of the casting. You got Ian McKellen back as Gandalf, Elijah Wood, one guy who's not back though, Viggo Mortensen. He has been recast with not Leo Whittle, like everybody thought. Leo Whittle's actually playing another character in the film. It's actually going to be Jamie Dornan, who I have to say is kind of ingenious casting because he does look quite a bit like Viggo Mortensen. I think people probably think of him from 50 Shades of Grey and maybe view him as a bit of a lightweight, but I mean, if you saw him in Belfast, if you saw him on his TV show The Tourist, he's actually a very legit actor, and I think this could be like a star-making role for him, or it could really bring him to the next level in his career. So I'm psyched to see that. And also, for my DC fans, we saw footage from Supergirl, a big action sequence where basically Kara is on this like bus across the galaxy. She's away from the yellow sun, so she doesn't have her superpowers. And they get hijacked by a crew of kind of female space pirates, and she has to fight them off without having the ability of flight or any of her superpowers. It was an interesting sequence. Look, it looks very Guardians of the Galaxy to me because almost the whole movie is set in space and on different planets. Lots of needle drops. Very James Gunn style, even though he didn't direct it. It's Craig Gillespie, but very much in the style of the last Superman movie, and of course, even more so, the Guardians of the Galaxy films. But the one that I was the most impressed by for DC, and I talked about this a bit over on the Horror channel, is Clayface. Saw a bit of footage from that, and it looks like David Cronenberg kind of meets Darkman. If you want to hear me break down the footage a lot more, head over to the JoBlo Horror channel because there's a whole video that just goes into that and the other horror stuff that I saw here at CinemaCon. But very good presentation by brothers. Digger, I really think, is going to be something special. I cannot wait to see it. I'll be back from CinemaCon with a lot more stuff tomorrow, so stay tuned to the JoBlo Movie Network.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.